I strongly believe that in line with SDG 8 and 16, your subject is probably one of the most important in the sustainability discourse. So, Ondřej, without further ado, you have your 15 minutes.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Jerry. And I would like to introduce to everyone myself. My name is Ondřej Dvouletý, and I work at the Department of Entrepreneurship at the Prague University of Economics and Business. And I would be very pleased to share with you our results concerning entrepreneurship engagement of women, because providing equal opportunities to the labor market is one particular subject of SDGs. So it's very important that we also investigate factors and dynamics shaping entrepreneurial engagement of women across the world. So this will be a study I will be presenting today on behalf of my colleagues that were referenced on the first slide. And I also would like to know that the study is also available at the VASD website. So we will have a link in my final slide. So as I was already indicating, it's evident from the previous data that less women than men are engaged in entrepreneurship. The actual number differs, but sometimes we have 100% more men than women, but this is different from country to country across the continent. So the question is, if there is existing research on saying why this is happening, because the gender aspects and entrepreneurship have been throughout the previous research sometimes stuck in comparing men and women, but sometimes we need to switch the attitude and have a look on why some women are engaged in entrepreneurship and not others, what allows them to pursue a business. And there are different career choices. I don't want to explain them all, as I would like to touch the core of the business. And there are experiences accumulated in a career theory, suggesting distinction between men and women, theory of discrimination, feminist theory. But as I already noted, there is a less attention on what makes one woman to join a business and the other one not. So this is a research I'm going to present today from the perspective of our Czech emerging economy. Just to have a look on what the theory says is that some women are constrained from participating in business by taking care of family, by having a strong partner ties, which actually does not allow them to engage in a full-time business. And this is basically rooted in the Becker's specialization hypothesis of the neoclassical theory, which sort of says that, women are more productive in taking care of household. But is that actually still the case? Haven't our societies moved to the extent and stage where actually it depends on the actual decision of the population, and that I would say all the patterns in the society have changed? Well, this is what we actually wanted to investigate by this research. So we had a look at the population of women and checked whether having a partner, being married, having children is somehow associated with a self-employment career, as the neoclassical theory suggested that there is a strong negative effect of discouragement. As I mentioned, we work with Czech data. So Czech Republic is a small country in the middle of Europe. It has above average population of entrepreneurs in Europe, differing between 15% of economically active population. And from the recent data, we know that there are approximately half more men engaged in business than women. We used a representative survey to capture the effect. So we work with the European Union Labour Force survey data. It's one of the largest surveys on the labor market, and we tested whether the family and the kids matter in case of pursuing self-employment. So what I want to highlight is that we also control for the established determinants of entrepreneurship, such as age, nationality, years of experience, working hours per week, classification of the profession, as these all data have been found to be important were shaping entrepreneurial engagement, not only from the perspective of the human capital, but also from the talent acquisition, attitudes, and of course the cultural background. We follow an econometric approach, and the novelty in our study is that we also have a look on the women who actually engage in a more ambitious type of business, being able to employ others, and those who pursue a solo career. So they are independent professionals. They like to deliver solutions to the market, but do not employ others. This is just a slide to show you the variables we have, and there are summary statistics, but the important lesson from the slide is that we work at about 7,000 women, which were asked this survey back in 2017. And here is the definition of all variables on the slide. That you can all find them in the document, but let's move to the core analysis. So as I already noted, we aim to capture a difference between women who pursue a traditional employment career. They work for their boss on a basis of a traditional contract, and the difference between those who are engaged in solo self-employment and those who are considered as a job creators. They contribute to the society by employing others. We use the regression analysis to obtain the results. So you can see that this is actually a statistical technique trying to investigate the likelihood of being self-employed when compared with a traditional employment career. So as you can see, there are a lot of statistically significant variables. I know a bit messy table again, but what we can see is that the traditional role of age, education, nationality, and the type of the profession, as well as the number of working hours per week, seem to be significant in line with the theory we actually had collected so far in entrepreneurship research and women entrepreneurship in particular. So the lesson learned is again on the slide. So unfortunately, we do not find any support for the relationship between having caring responsibilities for the children, being married, and the attitudes towards being self-employed. So it looks like the results are not favorable to what the theory back in the times of Gary Becker assumed. We actually find that women who pursue a business are on average have more levels of human capital. They work more hours, and they also tend to work in skilled professions that require a higher level of qualifications. But when it comes to the caring responsibilities, no statistically significant effect was found. What we also see is that the women, both types of women entrepreneurs, they actually tend to work even longer hours when compared with traditional employees. But it seems that there is a clear explanation for that identified in the previous literature. Then working hours, longer working hours do not necessarily need to mean less flexibility, and the flexibility was identified as a way, as an engine, as a tool, how to balance the work to family duties, actually without forgetting on one side of the problem or another. So the actual research shows that the culture and the Czech labor market has quite increased and changed over time, because if the women have a good set of skills, they are required for the profession, they have a freedom to decide what they want to do and passion to pursue a business, then it's probably a good approach to run an activity without being constrained by the partner if they find agreement in the relationship. So we had a look also on the recommendations provided by the scholars to address the sustainable development goal. So what should we do if we want to make the access to entrepreneurship easier for women? Well, then the best policy practice indicates that it's good to establish sharing of knowledge of those women who actually accomplish the path of being a successful entrepreneur in the past, and they can experience and share this experience with other women in a form of clubs. And it's also good to share the success stories among the community, so the women who are sometimes isolated in their homes have an opportunity to learn how to do that. So there are many limitations related to the study, but I'm pretty sure that you may find them in the document available on the VASD website, published in the World Journal of Entrepreneurship, Management and Sustainable Development. If you will have any questions during the discussion part, I would be very happy to provide you with more details. And I guess that my time limit has just passed, so I would like to thank you for your attention and get back word to Jerry.
Thank you so much, Ondřej, for setting that brilliant example.
So please remember, if we all help and do a little bit, it will make a big difference.